Hello friends, it's PreludeBoy99 and today we're going to talk about the Hot Wheels Elite 64 Freightliner Cascadia semi-truck, and my goodness, I'm very excited for this thing. So I wanted to make a video prior to the sale just to make the video more relevant and just to talk about it, but I figured I would at least try to secure one before talking about it, because it'd be very awkward saying that I'm excited to get one and then I didn't get one, and then it's just very awkward. So I was able to secure one. I only wanted one. I didn't want to take more than one because I didn't want to take anyone else's chances of getting one. So I took one while also buying some other Hot Wheels Elite 64 models that I did not have in my collection, because surprisingly there was a deal where if you added other Hot Wheels Elite 64 cars to buying the Freightliner truck, you were able to get 25% off. Now, this month there's been a sale on Hot Wheels Elite 64. There are some models that are at $12. And if you're an RLC member like myself, you can get an additional 10% off. So I was able to get some Hot Wheels Elite 64 models for $10.20, which is an absolute steal. And I'm honestly really excited to talk about Hot Wheels Elite 64, because lately I feel like Hot Wheels Elite 64 is not talked about enough. I remember when Elite 64 first came out, a lot of people hated it, and I was very confused as to why, until I realized that it was because there was other third-party brands like 64 Mini GT and Tarmac Works that do a really good job having great detail at a reasonable price. I remember the Toyota Chaser was the very first Elite 64 model to be released, and funny enough, it was actually supposed to be the second in release. The first one was supposed to be the Mercedes SL 300, which I wasn't able to get. I wasn't interested at the time, but now looking back, I kind of regret not getting it. I might pick it up at some point, but the Hot Wheels Toyota Chaser Elite 64 was $20, and I remember a lot of people were very turned off by the fact that it cost $20 and the details weren't that great, especially the lensed taillights and headlights, which at the time it wasn't a huge turnoff for me, but I could also understand why a lot of people were very turned off by the fact that the headlights that were lensed looked terrible. It had like the eyeball pegs that would be inserted inside the chassis, which looks terrible. Hot Wheels has gotten a lot better with their lensed headlights and taillights, making it look less like a pegged on plastic piece that's transparent. It looks a lot better now. However, I feel like the damage was already done with the Toyota Chaser, and it lost a lot of people's trust. I've been keeping an eye on Hot Wheels Elite 64 for a while now, and I've been watching the types of releases that they've been coming out with, and I've honestly been genuinely surprised with the stuff that they came out with. For example, the Liberty Walk Lamborghini Aventador that had removable pieces and accessories. I thought that was extremely cool, and this was the very first time that I've seen Hot Wheels attempt to have removable and customizable pieces since the early 2000s, when they had the 1/18 scale Hot Wheels tuners that were able to get removable pieces put on and taken off. And to me, it felt like a very serious attempt to approach the third-party diecast market with Inno64, Mini GT, and Tarmac Works, and trying to make the Hot Wheels a lot more grounded. One thing I've noticed is that Elite 64 has something very special with each model. For example, the Mustang has that removable hood and has that race car body kit to it, and the wheels are very unique to that casting. There isn't any other casting that uses that same wheel. It's very unique to the casting. Same thing for the Safari Porsche. It had a very, very unique wheels that I've noticed that I've never seen in any other Hot Wheels diecast before, but it was very unique to that diecast model. And again, same thing for the Chaser and the Land Rover and the Bugatti and so on and so forth. So they're really doing different things with Elite 64, and I feel like they don't get enough credit. I feel like Hot Wheels Elite 64 is a very unique product line that I think deserves more attention. Please let me know what you guys think about Hot Wheels Elite 64, because every time I make a video on Hot Wheels Elite 64, it doesn't do so well. Now, this could be me, or maybe it's just not as talked about as RLC. But honestly, I feel like Hot Wheels Elite 64 is very underrated. I believe that Hot Wheels Elite 64 was made to go toe to toe with. I believe that Hot Wheels Elite 64 was made to go toe to toe with true 164 diecast brands like NO64, Tarmac Works, Mini GT, Kato House, and so on and so forth. But I do believe that there are a few reasons why Hot Wheels Elite 64 isn't as successful as the third-party brands, but I'm going to make that video for another day. I want to talk about this Freightliner Cascadia truck because it just looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm very excited to get this in my hands. So let's talk about the features on this Hot Wheels Elite 64 Freightliner Cascadia semi-truck. So it features a detachable trailer with 2 levels that can hold up to 6 164 vehicles. So I'm assuming it's going to be 3 on top and 3 on the bottom. It has a ZMAC body type, which is kind of similar to what the Optimus Prime figure was made of and other RLC releases, which is really cool. It's just basically the finish, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section. It has bespoke Real Riders. So this actually has Real Riders wheels on it, which is awesome. I rather prefer having Real Riders wheels than just having generic basic line wheels, especially if you're paying $50 for this piece. It's a full metal chassis, so this thing is probably going to be very heavy. The window color is light smoke tinted. I assume there's going to be some detailing in the interior. I don't imagine it's going to be pitch black in there, but we'll see. And again, the interior color is black with red accents, like I said. So yeah, this is a true 164 scale model. So the Freightliner also comes in a styrofoam case, so it's not like a box with a plastic shell like we got with the other Elite 64 mod shop vehicles. It's going to come in its own styrofoam case in its box, which is going to be really great, so that way you can take it out and put it back in a styrofoam case. You don't have to worry about scratching anything or ruining the box, which is really nice. Because of its more grounded in realistic nature, I think it would make more sense to use Elite 64 or Mini GT or NO64, just by how true to scale this vehicle is. Now, other trucks of this scale cost a pretty penny. There's some Freightliner trucks that I've seen go up to 120, 150, but this one in particular was $50. I was able to get my truck for $37 with the 25% off discount after adding other Elite 64 models to the truck, which is, again, a really great deal. And the models that I bought were the BMW that had the removable hood, and I bought the Bugatti. I think the Bugatti is one of the cooler Elite 64s that I actually do regret not getting when it came out. But I decided just to wait for it and just to do other things with RLC. And now that I've gotten back to it, I bought the Bugatti and the BMW. I have other Elite 64 models downstairs that I haven't opened yet. I'm literally waiting for the right time to unbox those. And as soon as I get the Freightliner truck, I'm definitely going to unbox them for you guys. I'm not going to lie, I've always wanted to have like a Freightliner truck that actually looked very realistic instead of looking like a child's toy. There have been plenty of trucks that hold like 48 cars for kids, which I remember having one that launched out Hot Wheel cars, but having one that looked very realistic, I couldn't find those, and I'm very glad that Hot Wheels decided to make their own. Now, like I said, you could find other 164 scale Freightliner trucks that actually has like a movable bed. However, I believe those are going to be more costly, from my knowledge. Let me know if you guys were able to find anything cheaper. I'm very interested to know. But from my experience, from what I looked and saw, they're kind of pricey, especially the Freightliner trucks. So this is my first time owning a Freightliner truck, and I'm honestly very excited to get this in my hands. I hope this isn't just a one-time thing. I hope they make more trucks like this in the future, because obviously there is a demand for it. This thing sold out in literally an hour. I remember I bought it at 11, and then I checked back, and in half an hour it was still in stock, and then I checked back in another half an hour, and it was out of stock, unfortunately. So Again, I feel like I kind of feel bad because I should have made a video on it telling people about this so people were more notified. But then I decided that I wanted to talk about it after I secured one, so that way I can set up a premiere for the channel so you guys can see it and I can show it off and just show off the potential that this truck has. And honestly, I think this is one of the coolest things the Hot Wheels Elite 64 has done, and hopefully they keep doing more stuff like this. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future, whether it is Elite 64, RLC, or other third-party diecast brands. I'm honestly open to doing anything on this channel. Just let me know. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.